Hello friends, it's Dr. John WorldPeace, JD, coming to you from Albuquerque, New Mexico. It's 12:05 p.m. Mountain Time, and today we're going to talk about the core teachings of Jesus Christ. This is a rock bottom foundation message of Jesus. Below this video you'll see a link for contributions and give you a detail of that, books, etc., and references to some other websites. This video is about the core teachings of Jesus. 1. Follow the 10 Commandments. If you don't follow the 10 Commandments, you make the way of the Lord crooked. That's what John the Baptist's message was. 2. Love one another, which means do not judge others, forgive others, help others, be a good Samaritan. This is a radical, liberal message, friends. Jesus is a radical, liberal, spiritual teacher and advocate. I'm sure you've heard this radical left verbiage. Anyone who spreads a negative message about being a radical liberal is not saved. And they're not saved because they reject Jesus' liberal message of love one another. Now, you hear a lot about the negativity of the radical left. And you know where you hear it from. You hear it from Trump and the Republicans. Well, I want to make sure that everyone understands. Go look up the word liberal on Google. It defines Jesus helping those on the bottom of the social pyramid. You cannot go to church on Sunday, worship Jesus, the radical liberal, say that you're saved, walk out of church and become a Trump Republican, and curse the radical left. It's time to wake up. Anyone who spreads a negative message about being a radical liberal is not saved. And they are not saved because they reject Jesus' liberal message of love one another. Any preacher, politician that curses the radical liberal left are cursing and rejecting the message of Jesus to love one another. Only false preachers teach hatred for liberals. You cannot just advocate the love one another message of Jesus on Sunday morning and then support Donald Trump and the Republican Party who spread a message of hatred for those true Christians who are trying to uplift those on the bottom of the world human society social pyramid in general and struggling Americans in specific. All human beings are infinite, immortal souls inhabiting a finite, mortal dust body. You cannot allow your dust body of the earth with a predatory nature to dominate your spiritual soul body. You must reconcile your day-to-day human body with your spiritual advocacy of Jesus, who you claim saved you. 3. Include all human beings, all races, all nationalities, all religions, all genders in your Christianity. If you do not do this, then your brand of Christianity is an elitist, exclusionary, false brand of Christianity. It is not the Jesus brand. 4. Job, in the book of Job in the Bible, tried to question God about the ways of the world. Why do the good people suffer and the bad people do well? And God responded with, "Who are you to question me?" He didn't answer Job. He just said, "Who are you to question me?" To question God as to why there are so many religions in the world and so many denominations of Christianity shows an ignorance of the book of Job and an arrogance into the face of God. Continuing on with the message of Jesus, and this, number 5, is very important. Ask and receive, seek and find, knock and enter. Matthew 7:7. If you have the faith the size of a mustard seed, you can move mountains. Nothing will be impossible for you. Matthew 17:20. If you believe in me, you will do the works I do, and greater works will you do. John 14:12. These are red letter words of Jesus. And what does this mean? It means that human beings individually, in groups, states, nations, and the world human society script the future. We write the future. The future we project is the future we will experience. These are the words of Jesus. We are creating our future. We are experiencing now the results of negative thinking, negative scripts, chaos that really took off when Trump took office. The book of Revelation is a prophecy that the future is set in stone, and therefore all fake preachers, fake and false, must try to interpret the book of Revelation because it's a prophecy and it's confusing and it has metaphors and images. Nobody knows what it means. Nobody even knows who wrote it. It's a false book. Here it contradicts Jesus and says the future is doom and gloom and set in stone. Jesus says the future is what we script it to be. Jesus is not a liar. Whoever wrote the book of Revelation is a liar. Those who interpret the book and preach the book of Revelations are also liars and false preachers. 1 to 6 above that I've just read, 1 to 5, are the core message of Jesus. Love one another. Do unto others as you'd have them do unto you. Follow the 10 Commandments. And understand that we script the future. We're living what we script in the years past, and the future is going to be what we script in the future. There is so much negativity in the evangelical and fundamentalist Christian message that they're driving the truck right down to doom and gloom. It's a conscious effort. Jesus said your thoughts are important. You are convicted on your thoughts. Here Jesus is saying what you think, what you project on the future, that's what's going to come down the road. All Christian preachers are false. Per Hebrews 8, 10 to 12 in the New Testament, and Jeremiah 31, 33, 34 in the Old Testament. They both say exactly the same thing. The message of the Old Testament is the message of the New Testament. God has put His laws in the hearts and minds of all humans. No one needs to teach anyone. This is a spiritual message of Jesus, and contrary to the corporate Christian message by church bureaucrats that say at the extreme that you need to pray to the priest, to pray to Mary, to pray to Jesus, to pray to God. Totally contrary to the book of Hebrews and Jeremiah. God has put His laws in your heart and your mind. You don't need to listen to anybody. This is a corporate religious lie to get money, and contrary to the spiritual truth of Jesus. Basic selling principles in the real world create a need, then fill it. If you're a priest or preacher selling the book of Revelations, which is doom and gloom and hellfire and damnation and no way out, then you can charge money to give the solution. These are false preachers, false message. If you have any spiritual questions, you need to study, meditate, and pray to God for the answers, which the Bible says are in your hearts and in your mind, where God put them. Jesus said, if the blind lead the blind, they both fall in a ditch. The ditch is hell. To follow a priest or preacher is to follow him or her into his or her hell. Wake up. Why are there 200 sects and denominations of Christianity? It's because each preacher has a different truth. God and Jesus only have one truth. Why are there so many denominations? With Martin Luther and the Reformation, there was only one church, the Catholic Church. After Martin Luther challenged the church and Protestant took hold, Protestantism, now we got 200 plus denominations, and anybody with a roll of quarters and a printing press can Xerox machine can create a message. If they were preaching the truth, they would all be preaching the same thing, and they're not. There's only one truth, and that's the truth of Jesus, who is the way, the truth, and the light. The truth of God and Jesus is in your heart. You can override that as a human being. That's what's wrong with the world. If you want to be lazy and not study, meditate, and pray to God, then you follow your preachers to hell. The Christian community is great and a great and necessary thing to do as Jesus asked, which is go around doing good. But it needs to be a lay community that goes about doing good without a false preacher. I've outlined the foundation for spiritual community of Christians It's called the Purple Order of Spiritual Christians. It's just a beginning format. It's at the Purple Order of Spiritual Christians.com, along with the other things I'm talking about. It's right down below here. This is the future of Christianity. Lay ministry, people studying, looking in their own hearts, meditating together to find the truth. No man needs to teach anyone. That's clear. Jeremiah, Hebrew. No man or woman needs to teach anyone. It's in your heart, in your mind. God put it there. You were born with it. Wake up. No preacher has come up with any solution to the coronavirus and the radical weather all over the planet. I, Dr. John WorldPeace, JD, am the only advocate for Jesus Christ. What is the advocate? John 14:26, 15:26, 16:13. Have a solution. I have laid it out. We script our future. We're acting negative. We're acting divisive. We're listening to false preachers. We're not looking into our own hearts. And we're living the reality of chaos. I, Dr. John WorldPeace, am the only advocate for Jesus Christ, per these verses, and I have not been challenged by a single preacher. They haven't responded to the thousands and tens of thousands of emails that I've sent out with this message. Nobody has challenged me except to say that I'm crazy, I'm stupid, the few that do respond. But they don't talk to the issues. They don't ever talk to the issues. They just say, you're nuts, quit emailing me. As Elijah, the prophet, challenged the false priest of Baal, and as Jesus challenged the rabbis of the archaic Judaism, and by the way, you can't find in the Bible anything positive that Jesus said about the rabbis. Constant conflict. I'm challenging, as did Elijah, as did Jesus, I am challenging all the corporate Christian priests of Christianity. No one has dared to challenge me as being the advocate of Jesus Christ. I'm one man with one message, world peace. I live a minimalist life, scant assets, no church, no organization. The purpose of the advocate is to come and straighten out the false teachings, to remind people what Jesus really said, not what the churches have screwed around in order to make money. Create the problem, charge people for the solution. Let those who have eyes see, and those who have ears hear. This is Dr. John WorldPeace, Friday, January the 14th. Think about what I said. If you got a preacher that wants to go head-to-head with me, internet's easy. We'll set up a global conversation. But these liars, these false preachers, are not going to challenge me. Take what I've sent to you. Take what I'm saying to you. Sit down with your preacher. See what he has to say. But you know what? No matter what he says to you, he's not going to say it to me. They're false. They're liars. They're the blind. And if you follow them, you're the blind. And you're both going to go straight to the ditch.